Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I really am going to make this short. I already made one try at this and it went too long, but here we go. As a special request, I'm asked to talk about healthcare again. First of all, put my position on the table. I think we should have a single payer system because the health insurance industry in this country does absolutely nothing except stand in the way of the patient and the final caregiver, whether that be a hospital, a medical technician, or a doctor. Dismantle the entire health insurance industry in this country and you immediately eliminate hundreds of billions of dollars of cost to healthcare in this country. That's number one. So, with Obamacare at POTUS, I hope that they dismantle the individual mandate, because all that is a mandated bailout to private bankrupt health insurance companies by the government, telling you that you have to buy their product to prop them up because they're all bankrupt and failing. So the individual mandate has to go. Single payer is the only option that will work. It's the only option that can work. That can work as an expanded Medicare for all, where everything is covered, where everybody is in, and where they work out how much you have to pay in order to be involved in that system, in addition to, including what you pay with your Medicare taxes right now. Whatever else additional that you pay, you would have to pay per month to belong to that system, or whatever. And have subsidies for people who can't afford it. So the bottom line is, when it comes to this, is the idea that healthcare is a basic human right. If there is any notion about this sort of higher consciousness that humanity is coming to now with 2012, you hear a lot of this talk, okay? If that is a reality, if people are actually going to embrace that concept and try to get their minds around it, it has to include the idea of commonwealth of humanity, and that includes compassion for everybody else, and it also includes community, and the idea of people are different, and we have to accept that fact, okay? That's how you get rid of war. That's how you solve problems in this world, is you have to embrace the idea that people are different, but they are exactly the same as you in that they are people, and they deserve the same kind of respect that you do, and they deserve the same things that you do, and that is the commonwealth of humanity. And if there's ever to be any move in that direction of this higher consciousness and this spiritual awakening, it has to come from that point of view. And that means that you have to get away from the egocentric selfishness that all of these adult babies talk about. When they use the code word of liberty and freedom to say, I don't want the shackles of government coming down on me and telling me that I have to do something or I have to do this. Because all that boils down to is they are selfish. They are completely egocentric, selfish. They do not think that other human beings raised to the same level as they do. And that's fine. If you want to be an Ayn Rand follower or a Ron Paul idiot, please go right ahead. But don't label your egocentric selfishness because you don't want people to have health care, because you don't think it's a right for them, because you don't want all of these things, because you're selfish and you're completely focused egocentrically on yourself. Label yourself a selfish fucking prick and I'll have more respect for you than trying to garnish up your fucking philosophy with liberty and freedom. You tarnish the fucking words by saying, I don't want to have the onerous government come down on me and tell me I have to contribute something because Joe Blow down the street needs some kind of health care. Well, you know what? Fuck you, you fucking fuck. You're selfish. You're egocentric and selfish. That's the bottom fucking line. That's the bottom line. Label yourself correctly. I hope Obamacare's individual mandate gets knocked down by the court, okay? And that brings single payer back onto the table for discussion. And while we have this ridiculous thing that they call reform in place, no one is going to talk about health care. And no one is going to talk about making the system better. It will continue in the slipshod, half-assed way that it has gone. And while we're at it, why don't we talk about prescription drugs? And why don't we talk about the exorbitant fucking costs of them? And why don't we allow Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices instead of making a deal with the fucking pharmaceutical industries that specifically fucking prohibits it in order to guarantee them the maximum amount of profits and the maximum amount of costs to the Medicare system with their drug coverage benefit. You see how this is entirely a vicious cycle where corporations gain every possible fucking benefit where humans end up losing. And I'm sorry, corporations are not people. People are fucking people. And in order to live any kind of balanced life, you have to have compassion, and you have to realize that we live in a reality where there is government. There are laws. However much you don't want them, Mr. Libertarian, bootstrap puller upper motherfucker. There are laws. There is a government. You have to obey shit. There's stuff you gotta do, and your precious fucking liberty is impinged upon every motherfucking day in small, medium, and big fucking ways. That's the reality. Quit living in your fucking fantasy world where there is no government and there are no laws, and you could be an egocentric, selfish motherfucking prick all goddamn day living in your fucking cabin out in the middle of the woods. Fuck the world. Well, go right ahead. Because nobody's going to give a shit about you, and you could sit out there and fucking rot. Maybe when your prostate is as big as a fucking basketball. Or maybe if you get breast cancer or something like that. I ain't gonna have the government tell me I need to have any kind of health care. This big giant tumor on my fucking chest, nothing, that'll go away. Well, you can live your life any way you want, but living in a fantasy world where there are no laws and no government and no humanity and nothing, it's not going to get you anywhere except, mired in your own selfish old age where you're going to be a grizzled, old, mean-spirited fucking dick that nobody even wants to be around anyway. So I say, good riddance. Get out of my fucking community. I don't want nothing to do with you. So for all you idiots who say healthcare is not a right, just label yourself a selfish, egocentric fucking prick or fucking asshole, whatever. You could use either one of those two terms. And I'll have more respect for you. Instead of dirtying the terms liberty and freedom by saying somehow your liberty and freedom is being encroached upon by, God forbid, having to participate in a system that takes into account the commonwealth of fucking humanity. Let them old people fucking die. I ain't putting 2-3 cents into any kind of nothing that's going to help anybody else because I'm a selfish fucking prick. There you go. Just say that. Instead of trying to gloss up your fucking egocentric, selfish bullshit with liberty and freedom. And live in the real world where there are actual laws and a government. And until that goes away, they're still there. Healthcare is a right. It's a right. And we should do it the right way so that everybody can get the care that they need. It is reasonably priced. You do not have an excess amount of overhead and administrative costs like you do with the private health insurance industry, which is just being bailed out by Obamacare through the individual mandate. And if you expand Medicare and you raise the doctor's rates and you have an enrollment fee in addition to, whatever it is you pay in Medicare tax, or just raise your Medicare taxes to reflect that. Whatever. Get rid of the entire health insurance industry immediately. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in costs are immediately eliminated. It's the easiest, most direct solution. Thank you.